All right, guys, before we get started, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. It helps it grow and it helps people see these videos more often. Now, let's talk about Jazz versus Suns. All right, guys, this is the first game back. Basketball is back. Basketball is back, and I can't, how much have you missed it? Because I know I have. There were things that I forgot, though. The pain of losing a basketball game for the Utah Jazz. So let's start this off talking about the Phoenix Suns. My goodness, they look like a better team than they did last season. Or, I guess, than this season, but was last season. It's confusing, but we're going to go with it. They just look like a team that's figuring things out more and more. They look like a hungry team that wants to make the playoffs. And with the shot making they did tonight, they really have a chance. I mean, their offense looked really good and made Utah's defense look really not good because they were just hitting shots. I think tonight, let's look at their percentage of three. Their percentage of three, actually, wow, it's actually surprising. 3-point percentage for the night, 27, although some of that might be in garbage time. And some of that might be from players that, typically will have better nights. Devin Booker tonight, 0 for 2 from 3. Ty Jerome, who actually looked like a pretty decent little defender, did not have a great night. 0 for 5 from 3. But Mikal Bridges had a big night, 6 for 9 and 1 for 2 from 3. They just looked really solid, and I think what was really good for them on offense, honestly, was just their cohesion. They were making good passes and good reads. DeAndre Ayton is getting better and better and better every year, every season. He looks fantastic. And so I'm excited to see this Suns team actually kind of grow. They might actually become something that we've been hoping for. When you talk about Utah and the Suns, and you talk about Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell, there's that kind of like who's better and whatnot. They're just kind of different players. I know they play the same position, but they're just different styles. To me, Devin Booker looks a lot like what would happen if Klay Thompson was put on a team without a lot of help around him. He's had to kind of figure things out that he if Devin Booker was on the Warriors, what would his career be like? It would be a lot different, and it would be really effective because he is a shot maker. That shot is pure. I don't care what you want to say about Devin Booker, the record and all these things, playoff appearances, whatever. His offensive game is really, really good. That shot is just really, that stroke is pure. It's great. And if he gets more and more help around him, and if they play like they did tonight, where they're making passes and things like that, and finding cutters and open shots, and people are knocking down shots. I mean, they beat the Jazz tonight and shot 27% from three. It's actually deceiving because I felt like they actually shot the ball better. So what happens when as a team they get that 27% up to 36? They look a lot better. So good for the Suns. They look a lot better, and Devin Booker is a fluid player. We'll see if they can keep this up. I know it's just exhibition, but these teams went at it in the first half, and one of these teams hit shots and one of them didn't. For the Utah Jazz, there were not a lot of bright points, and it kind of made me think of what you miss with Bojan Bogdanovic out. With Bojan Bogdanovic out, this team has to rely more on defense, but because you don't have Derek Favors playing that 4 spot, defense is going to be a lot more tough. So the Jazz offense needs to pick it up to make up for some of those defensive deficiencies from last season of losing Derek Favors. And tonight was kind of a sign of what happens if the Jazz offense isn't playing well and the perimeter defenders aren't guarding their man. You don't play well. You don't win games, basically. And that's what happened tonight. The Jazz on offense were not hitting shots outside of Donovan Mitchell and George Niang. We're not hitting shots, and this is kind of what happens. So for Utah to improve, they need to have that defense ratcheted up. I really wanted to see what Rudy Gobert would bring tonight, and it wasn't the dominating force that maybe we kind of expected him to see right out of the gate. I'm sure he's kind of taking it a tiny bit easy so that when we get to actual games, he'll play better, but that's being hopeful. You would have liked to see Rudy Gobert just dominate inside tonight. And that Jazz offense just looks clunky still. Although I will say there were some bright points and it got better as the game went on. Mike Conley looks like a different player. And I know he missed like his first 3 shots, but as the game went on, you could see how comfortable he was. He was making good reads and nice plays. There was times where there was spacing on the floor. It was really weird. There was one point where Bradley was on the floor with Rudy Gobert, and somehow like the spacing was pretty good. So I guess I don't know what to do with this Jazz's offense. I don't know what to even think or say. If you can put in Bradley and Gobert at the same time, 2 non-shooting centers, and there's spacing, then I don't know. I guess that means you need 3 shooters on the floor at all times, and I don't know. it breaks your brain. I don't know. But it somehow worked and brought the Jazz back in the second half. It was really interesting. Quinn was trying some weird stuff. One of the weird things Quinn was doing was not playing Jarrell Brantley. Like, I don't know what it is with Quinn and certain players, but if you can play Tony Bradley next to Rudy Gobert, then my guess is you could probably play Jarrell Brantley next to Rudy Gobert. Because, by the way, Jarrell Brantley can shoot a three. He can. And he does a lot of things with the ball in his hands. So that was weird. It was really weird. The other bright spot for the Utah Jazz was Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was awesome tonight. 17 points in 20 minutes. He was 3 for 4 from 3. Donovan was fantastic, and he looked like he's ready to go. If we get this Donovan Mitchell, if Utah gets this Donovan Mitchell, things are going to go really well. 4 assists for tonight for Donovan as well. The Jazz also, a few other things from that first half. What is the floater offense? I mean, I like seeing Jazz floaters just like I like seeing floaters in my drink at the restaurant. It gives me the same reaction. No more floaters, please. If you're going to drive to the hoop, if you're not confident with that floater, pass it out to open shooters. Because guess what? Tonight, Royce O'Neal had 0 3-point attempts. And that wasn't him not shooting it. That was because he was not getting the ball. Throw him the ball so he can shoot it, please. You know, I would rather a pass out to a 3-point shot that's missed than a floater, because guess what? That's just better math, and that's going to work out better for you. So Royce O'Neal getting 0 3-point attempts sucks. I mean, I know some of that is from getting in foul trouble and things like that, but Royce is a good 3-point shooter, and that means that our guards, Donovan and Mike, need to pass the ball out to open 3-point shooters. They just do. It's got to be better. Flat out. Jordan Clarkson didn't have his best game. 5 for 14 from the field. Not great. But George Niang. Yang Gang. George Niang tonight. 3 for 4 from 3. Yes, that is what it was. He's really good. Anyone who says otherwise, let them know that he's the best 3-point shooter on the Jazz now. He was even the best 3-point shooter with Bojan. He had the highest percentage. George Niang. Excellent 3-point shooter. The other player, interesting statistic, and this is probably not going to continue, and actually the best news for Utah, Joe Ingles was minus 16 for that whole game. That's not going to stay that way, because Joe Ingles is typically the plus-minus monster. And at times when he was playing, he was doing the pick and roll. He was the one that was getting Rudy his shots that when Rudy was getting them. 5 points for Rudy, not enough. Find ways to get him the ball, or at least get the ball to the hoop. I don't know. Figure it out. The Jazz offense is super clunky, and that's what these exhibition games are for. But there's only like 3 of them, so they got to figure out fast. Guys, that's all I got. Like I said, like and subscribe to this channel. I will talk to you later.